Welcome to the Tea with LP Patterson Podcast. Our goal with Love Patterson Podcast is simple: to connect and inspire. Patterson has so many incredible stories waiting to be told, and this podcast is here to give those stories a voice. Whether it's a business owner building their dream, a community leader creating positive change, or a neighbor doing something extraordinary, we want to shine a light on the amazing people that shape the town. So we have today Kendra Mora as our co-host, me, Derek Cortez as your host, and our guest,
Jessica Castillo.
absolutely. So
Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me here.
we want you to give a little background over who you are, where you grew up, just a little insight into who Jessica is.
Well, I've actually been in Patterson. I've lived in Patterson for the past 20 years. So my family decided to move here from the Bay Area. We used to live in, Oakland. So
The safest part of
absolutely.
the Bay Area.
The world.
Yeah. You guys have heard how safe it is out there. So I've been here that long to call Patterson my home, honestly. A little about me. I'm a mom. I love health and wellness. I love being involved. I think that's one of my main things, and I do that through giving back and as a realtor.
hmm So you're a realtor, and then what other hats do you wear?
I am part of the Love Patterson nonprofit, so I'm part of the Love. Shoot, I'm part
The
of the
love of Patterson.
The Love with Patterson. You just love Patterson.
I love Patterson, and that's why I'm with Love Patterson.
hmm
I'm part of the social media committee, so I
Okay.
focus more on the sponsorship side.
Okay, and what do you do? You do short format, long format videos, or
Short
Okay.
videos of our sponsors.
and you
yes.
just highlight what they do or the
Yes.
interview style?
Just a small interview.
Okay.
Especially if they did something during volunteer day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is coming up also.
Oh,
April 26th.
April 26th. Last year, I think, is April 20.
It was. This year we are going to go back to the original last Saturday of the month.
I think last year we had a lot of signs get stolen.
For that same
amen.
reason.
Yeah, for that same reason. They love those signs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope you found them.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
cool.
we'll get a drone to fly over Patterson and find the
Ooh.
rest of them.
Amen.
So what inspired you to become involved in the Patterson community as opposed to any of the surrounding cities? Because you really could have gone anywhere. And a jump
Absolutely,
from
yeah.
Oakland to over here is like super crazy. It's like night and day.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely. I think I always wanted to be involved one way or another. I just didn't know who to go to. But being in the business of like meeting people and getting to help people, it only made sense to be part of something. I chose Patterson because I live here. If somebody wants to buy wherever it is that they want to go to for some reason, I drag them to Patterson. It's like Patterson is community for me, and being involved, it's it's home. It still has that small town feeling, and it just made sense to give back
Absolutely.
in my city.
And you said how many years you were here?
20.
20
A
years.
little over 20. I used to say like 15, and I asked my parents, like, how long have we been here? Sweetie, we've been here for almost 20 years. I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah, my math was completely wrong. So I was about 13, 14, and I am 33.
So you
wow.
were here basically.
I lived here. I grew up here. This is
Yeah.
my town. Absolutely.
Yeah, right. I think Patterson got really big around the time when Walmart came, right?
You know what?
I think
been
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before.
Like, I've seen so many changes. If you ask me which ones, I'm not going to be able to recall, but it's been such a difference in town, but it's been growing for a while.
And I've been asking people this about like the Walmart opening. For some reason, they think I'm crazy, but I know this happened. When Walmart opened, they had a mariachi playing inside.
Yeah, they did.
They did, right?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
do not know.
No?
She goes
Nope.
to Target.
I do not go to Target, but I don't remember. I mean, honestly, I couldn't even tell you how long has it been since
It's
they've
been
opened?
a while. I didn't go to that opening, by the way, but I did see it on social media or the newspaper, one or the other.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
did have mariachi. They made it
Yeah.
big.
That was back when I was like in high school, like back in 2010, 11, something
Has
like
it
that.
been that long?
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying. Is it's hard to put a timeline to it because it's like for so long it was not here. And then now you can't really remember a time it wasn't here. So
Everything just popped up out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Like I just remember Taco Bell being there, and then Walmart's there, and then everything else just popped up. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
yeah.
Yeah, it's different now, and I love that it's growing. But again, like the reason why I chose to be involved in my town is to keep that small town feeling. I always say it still has a small town feeling, and that has a lot to do with whether you're involved or not, because many will move here and some will not like it because they don't know anyone.
Right.
You hear there's nothing to do in Patterson. There are things to do in Patterson. Obviously, I know that, it's in the works and it's going to get better, but yeah, being involved. Awesome.
Absolutely. So what do you think that sets Patterson apart from other cities?
It's community. And I don't know if that has to do because I am involved, but I've only been really involved for the past year. But it always, to me, it always said it was something very different from other cities. Yes, you hear that Turlock has its amazing downtown. We're working our way up there, I feel like. But here people. Yeah, there's a lot of new people also, but what sets it apart, it's community. So if you're not involved, reach out.
Get involved.
Absolutely.
We have a ton of things for you to do.
We have a lot of work for you to do too.
Amen.
Projects coming up.
Oh yeah. So what part of Patterson is your favorite?
Okay. If I had to pick, I love the area I live in, but Patterson, when people post on social media, if you're on Instagram and you see somebody posting like the entrance and the palm trees, you don't even have to ask. They're in Patterson. That one's my favorite part of Patterson. Like the entrance or exit, or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, okay.
But the palm trees.
The palm trees is where
It's
at.
like it's Patterson. Yeah.
Really?
It's like the staple.
Yeah.
I mean, those have been
Like
there.
you need to get it.
Yeah.
If you do some type of footage, like you do just have to get that.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
For me, it's always the mountains. I just
Really?
I love the mountains because I love how the sunset gets painted. Like it becomes like purple and orange and all these other. I just love it. And then when it rains, it's super green and lush. It's beautiful.
Okay, well, maybe because you live in an area where you can see the mountains. I cannot see the mountains. So,
Touche. Yeah. The
that
canyon's
makes
a little far away from us.
yeah, so I don't see the mountains. And I'm always driving out of town, so I always see the palm trees.
That makes sense. I'd say my second favorite in the whole town is Denny's.
What?
Yeah, I that's a hill I'm gonna die on. I love Denny's. I can go there and I'm just like, this is my home, Like subconsciously, if you were to be able to go into my mind would be a Denny's. Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Interesting. I didn't know that about you. Thanks for sharing.
So now you know, and everyone else knows too. Denny's, if you want to become a sponsor, you can reach out to Kendra.
We'll take it.
We're serious too.
Right. So, what's a defining moment or experience in your life that significantly shaped who you are today?
That's a tough question, I want to say. Because I can't recall. I tend to be the person that blocks things sometimes.
You like Stonewall.
Yeah, so some of the questions are probably going to be hard for me because I didn't take the time to really try to remember. I am 33. I've gone through stuff. I think high school is a little scary nowadays, to be real honest. I don't know how I got through that. So to recall a moment from my past, I just can't. I will recall getting more so now, a few years back, I want to say. Why I do what I do and why I am who I am is because I took a leap of faith and did online marketing, network marketing type of thing. And that got me out of my bubble, and it helped me just pour some belief into myself and just do things that I would have never done previously. It's crazy, but that one was a pivotal moment for me.
There's a negative stigma to that type of business.
I was one of those that had a negative stigma to it, which is crazy, and I ended up there.
They're like, what's Jessica doing? Why is she reaching out to me?
Yeah, and that honestly, being part of that is why I do real estate. It has a lot to do with how I communicate or how I connect with people, if anything, because I'm there for them, not because of like the making money. I mean, that's why network marketing has like a negative stigma, because you think people are trying to sell you something.
Yes.
I'm just trying to be friends. I'm trying to help a girl out, because
and that's something that I did notice about Jessica, is that when I first talked to her, it's almost like as if I knew her, like we've been friends for years already.
Thank you.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, what's going on, Jessica?
I second that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
She just has that type of personality
Yes.
that just makes you comfortable, right?
Yes.
So, moving
you.
on. You're welcome. What's the most unusual or funny thing that you've ever done in the name of work or community service?
honestly,
Oh, wait. Don't ask her this. The stuff I make her do. Stop it.
aside from that, I think when people ask me to translate something into Spanish, I do not know. I'm a Spanish speaker. I know how to speak to, I talk to people in Spanish. But if you put me on the spot, I will completely forget. And I've come across those moments in real estate, and I'm like, fill me in. I usually have my lender with me. They're really good. But I could say that one would be like a funny moment, because when you talk to someone that understands the language and they know that you're just not speaking it, it's kind of like awkward. So I think that one would be for me.
Oh, I can second that too. I speak Spanish, but I'm not like university level. Like if you've ever gone to Mexico and you speak Spanish to them, they look at you like, dude, are
What did
you
you
5 years
say?
old?
Stop it.
What's going on
No,
with you?
yeah.
Yeah, and I feel that a lot because I'm a director of the music at my church, and it's a Spanish speaking church. So I'm always like speaking in front of people in Spanish. And so like I know I'm just butchering it up there, but they're like, he plays piano, it's fine.
You have a way to make it up.
Yeah.
No,
Okay, so now this question is important.
Dun, dun, dun.
Would you be more likely to respond to a text at midnight or 5 a.m.?
That one's easy.
My new me. Okay, well, what is it?
She does not get up until like 9.
That's not true.
Okay, baby has to be there at 8, so maybe 7.
I can see that messages are coming in. But I'm definitely not a night owl anymore, because I used to be. And ever since I became, got into like leadership and reading books and all the things, like you get a lot more benefit out of you if you're a morning person. You get a lot of things more done.
100%.
I'm not a 5 a.m. person anymore. I don't know if it was because of the holidays. I just cozy and all the things. So that got me off track, but I would definitely text back in the morning. And not at midnight.
I tell Kendra, I'm like, you can text me from 11 p.m. till like 3:50 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I'm just like, those are my hours of operation. I'm just like all over the place all the time.
Well, you know what?
At 3 a.m.?
Yeah, I'm up.
Is it because it's dark?
No, because I go to work.
Okay. Well,
I'm
people
a little mortified over here. I'm up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
That's when she wakes up.
Yeah.
To go to
I'm
the
getting
gym.
up.
Yeah.
When I work, like if I'm in the office, like it's complete dark.
Mm-hmm.
Because I study better, or when I was back in school, I would study better, be more focused during nighttime. I was considered a night owl. I would do all of my homework at nighttime, even if I had the entire day. So I feel like that's why when I am working on work required, I need a laptop, I need lights off. I need to work in the dark.
Really?
Yeah.
That just lets you focus.
Focus.
It's like the blinders on a racehorse.
Yeah.
You're just like locked in. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause it's away from the distractions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm like that too, because I'm super social. So I'll just be talking.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'll get distracted.
Same here.
That's just how I am.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about your self-care day. What's a perfect Jessica self-care day look like?
Are we talking like currently or like back in the day?
Let's talk about how you would want a perfect day to be.
Okay.
How it would be. Let's start 5 a.m. Or when do you want to wake up?
5:30. I can
Okay,
do 5:30.
5:30.
My son's going back to school, so I need to get a lot of things more done.
Okay.
A lot of more things done. So it would be 5:30. I really want to finish reading the Bible this year, so I am devoted to reading it, understanding it. So recently, I've been doing that in the mornings. Wake up, read the Bible. So that would be like my perfect morning. Get, mommy duties, and then gym. I have to work out. And come home and get ready for real estate or Love Patterson, whatever, wherever it calls me for that day. I used to be like, and this is why I asked, like, are you talking me like right now or me before? Because I had this idea that I had to wake up at 5 a.m, read a book, do your journal, say what you're grateful for. And all of these little things exhausted me. Like when it came to like working time, I was already exhausted from all of the things that I had to do to set myself up for the day. So now I'm like, okay, I know what I have to get done. So priority for me would be wake up in the morning, because I if I wake up 9 a.m, my day's gone.
Oh yeah.
So wake up, read the Bible, work out, mom, get ready, work. That's my perfect day.
Yep.
Yeah. No, because I went to the gym today in the morning too, and it just feels like you get so much energy from it, even though it drains you at first. But like the hour or two after, you're just like, dude, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing on the couch? Let's get up. Let's do something.
What time do you go to the gym?
I went to the gym today at 8.
Okay, that's the time I go to. Yeah.
Yeah. So today I went a little later, but because I was up a little later.
So to like 4 a.m. instead of 3 in the morning.
Yeah. No, but what's your workout split look like at the gym?
Ian, I don't
You don't follow a routine?
I don't follow a routine. It's whatever my day, when I walk in, I guess I already know if it's like leg day or not, or back day or shoulder day. But if I don't have like workouts set out.
Girl.
I don't. And I think I've lived at the gym for quite some time to know, like, okay, if today is leg day and I want to get more muscle or just whatever it is, then I know what workouts to do to where I don't.
I'm dying over here.
I am really
dying
sore right
inside.
now, though. But
It's so funny because, like, me and my girlfriend would go to the gym. And then, so she's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do some upper body and this is that. I'm like, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to do legs today. And for whatever reason, I end up bench pressing and she ends up squatting. Like, it's like, that's like what we just gravitate to, But it's funny. You have to have like at least a routine or something, something in place.
So you have a routine?
I have what's called the bro split. So I just do a push and pull upper body, and then I do my legs, core, and shoulders. So I'll do 3 days because my schedule is so filled up with other things that I can just allow myself 3 days. So those are the 3 days, which haven't really been working that well.
It's a new year. You just started. It's okay.
Yeah. So who are you in your friend group? Are you the funny one, crazy one, chill one, smart one?
I think I'm a little of everything.
Really?
Yeah. You don't think so? What do you think I am?
No, I agree.
I think
Depends on the day.
I think it depends on the day.
Okay.
Depends who I'm talking to.
Or with, you kind of vibe off your
Yeah.
group,
So it's funny. I used to always jump around in like different groups for some odd reason.
Are you the floater friend?
Well, what is exactly a floater
So
friend?
like
Because I still have close friends who I hang out with, all the time.
Okay.
But I met you guys and I love you guys, So you guys are my close friends too. I don't know if that's considered like a floater friend.
Yeah, well, yes and no. A floater friend is someone like who doesn't have a core group of friends or isn't like part of the main group of friends. They just like come here and there, and then they're part of this group and this group and this group and this group.
Friends, if you are watching this, I'm not a floater friend.
She's not.
I love you guys.
She is not a floater. No. I just think she has a lot of groups.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, big network.
She is, and she's definitely a core person in that group. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can be the funny one, but then some people don't laugh at my jokes or whatever I'm saying.
She's like, I am funny. I swear.
Laugh. But then COVID might have changed me a little. So
I think it changed everyone.
I was pregnant during that time, and then it just made more sense to be at home.
Yeah.
Cozy. I mean, we couldn't really go out and all the things. But I used to be like, let's go out. I used to be strict on my diet. I was very strict on my diet. If you would ask my friends a couple years ago, we had like a Thanksgiving and they had like some labels on the table and we had to figure out who we were. I was the one that was always eating clean. I was very invested in that area. But now I'm like chill, funny. I like to have fun. I like to go out. I like to work.
Okay, cool. Switching over, let's put on your Love Patterson hat. Let's get some insights on your experience with Love Patterson. So, how did you get involved with Love Patterson?
I have to thank Gabby for that.
Okay.
I reached out to her. I've always known that I wanted to get involved. I didn't know who to go to, what to do. I mean, I didn't even know what a city council member was. I learned all of that through being with you guys. But I reached out to Gabby. I let her know that I wanted to be involved. And she happily, met with me at Blues, and we just started talking.
She loves to talk to people. She
does.
loves it. I think 80% of my network is people that she's introduced me to.
Yeah.
That she's out there. So what are some of the most rewarding moments working with Love Patterson? Is there like a certain moment that pops up in your head?
There's two.
Okay.
And it's not like certain moments. It's more things like what I've gained through being with Love Patterson.
Okay.
So one of them, with getting involved, you do make a difference in town, whatever it is that you're getting done. If it's an event, if it's like a project, you are giving back one way or another. So that I like that. I love that feeling of like, oh wow, like I did something for them. That's a good feeling. So that's one. And the other one would be my friendship with you guys. If it wasn't for Love Patterson, I wouldn't know any of you. And I am very blessed to know all of you. Absolutely. So, two.
I like those two. Did you have something to say?
No? Okay. Nope, I agree.
What's a project that you hope to accomplish with us?
From like volunteer day or
Volunteer day.
Well, you know what? It was my first year, so I didn't have like a project that I presented myself. It was one that was already there, and they needed like a project leader, and I did. And it was like painting rocks for the seniors. And most people, when I was saying seniors, people thought like the high school seniors. I'm like, no. It's for, who was it for?
So I think we took those to El Soyo.
Yes, we did, to El Soyo. So as soon as I told them the place where we were going, those messages were different. But that I was a project leader for that, and it was nice because I shared it with like my network, and they were able to come too, and then just met people along. It's in downtown, and there was people just stopping by, or people that were assigned to it.
What's a project that you think that we should bring forward and work for?
I've brought this up a couple times.
I was just gonna plug my project that I want.
Oh yeah, same here.
Cool. We'll
Mural.
So
I want a Love Patterson mural.
Okay.
You do.
Yep.
And then
I really, I've talked to some people. They said it's probably a no, but maybe we can do something about it. In the area that I live, there's a lot more families coming into the area with younger children. During summertime, everybody's out and about and walking the streets, right, around the neighborhood. But we don't have a park. The park that is there is like not there because nobody goes to. You can't really take your children. There's no playground.
Is it one of those parks
Sunflower.
where it's just like a dip?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think that when those homes were built, they didn't have the same mindset as we do now. Now every development has 45 parks.
Yeah.
They don't have, she's right, they don't have anything over there, nor do they have really anything on my side, because I live in the older side. So I think that's a great project. And you have the space. There's really no reason why we can't add something to it.
Yeah. So if you live by the Sunflower area, Sunflower Drive, Patterson, reach out, because that's something that I do want to change that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So what do you think that Love Patterson is going to look like in the future, either with the team or like what we do on Love Patterson Day?
I want to see more projects that can be sustainable.
Okay.
I've only known of Love Patterson, I think 2 years now. The first year was like, well, you guys were already in town, but the first year for me, I was like, who are they? What do they do? What is it? Then I became involved. I'm like, okay, well, I see what you guys do. And now that I've been with you guys, I've seen that some projects are coming back again. And it's like, okay, well, we already did that, a couple of years ago. How can we sustain it? Or if there's any projects that we can do. I hope that we can get to the point where we can do sustainable projects throughout the year, not just one day.
Yeah.
And then one big project. But it's like, okay, well, we need other people with ideas because all of you guys live in town too. It's not just us. And that I think that's one of our hardships is that we don't have really the community sharing with us what they would want to see in town.
Absolutely.
So do I see it bigger? Yes, we are growing. There's more people coming into Patterson. So it would be nice to maintain it as is, like obviously nicer and all the things, but not let it go to where you don't know your own town, your own
neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. I like that answer. So let's switch roles over here. I want to talk more about what you do as a professional.
I talk to people.
Okay.
I connect with people.
Okay. So then why should people come to you as their realtor? What makes you different?
Gosh. We already spoke about this, guys. This one's going to be tough for me. I can't do it.
You can do it.
You do. Because you have how many years living here?
I've been in Patterson for 20 years.
For 20 years. So you have 20 years of experience in the area that other realtors don't. Yeah. What value do you provide for your buyers? Okay,
so I will say this. I've come across many home buyers, especially first-time home buyers who have had a hard experience. And I can go back to when my parents were like buying and selling because my parents have done it several times before I was even a realtor. They also did come across agents that were not honest to them. And I saw like what they went through. So when I do come across people who want to buy and I hear their horror stories, because honestly, to me as a realtor, those are horror stories. Like we're supposed to service them. We're supposed to take care of them. We're supposed to guide them and like in an honest way. So something that I can truly provide for them, aside from like connecting with them and like getting to know them in a genuine level, would be like trust and honesty. I'm like, I am for that, especially because if it was somebody helping my family, not myself, because I wasn't a realtor or whatever, I hope they pick me. Yeah. But if it wasn't myself, I would hope that any realtor would provide that trust and honesty to my parents also.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's something I have noticed about her as a real estate agent, because we've talked about getting a home or her helping me get a home, that she doesn't come off as a car salesman, like a sleazy car salesman, like, hey, let's get you in for a 27% APR interest rate. No, she's like, well, what can I help you guys with? Like, she's a friend, and you can definitely see that she has a heart for the mission over the commission, right?
I love that. Yeah,
so
thank you.
She's definitely a genuine person, and I would trust her to help any person buy a home or even sell their home in the area. She's definitely a trusted individual.
Thank you, guys.
Agreed.
Thank you.
So can you tell us, for the people who are looking to buy a home, maybe they've been looking for a couple of years, they don't know what the process is. What does that look like?
We tend to listen to family. Family is there to support you, right? But sometimes family don't know what's going on in the market. So if you are a first-time home buyer, I highly suggest that you reach out, because the process is not easy for everyone. Many think that you can go to some open houses or like turn in your paperwork and be able to buy the next day. Something that wasn't really talked about back in the day was how to manage your credit. It's very hard to repair your credit. It's doable, but it's not going to happen from 1 month to another. So if you're trying to buy or sell, whatever it is, preparation is key. You want to know what your numbers are. If it's selling, you want to know what it's going to sell for or what you can do. If you're buying, you want to know what you can qualify for. Open houses are great. You get to meet people, especially local people. If you're not from the area and are trying to buy in the area, go with a local agent. They know what's around, right? But get to know your agent also. I think open houses is a great way rather than just calling on Zillow and meeting a random person.
Yeah.
Because there is a new agreement. I don't. Did I share? Oh my God, did I share it too? There's a new agreement, and this is where I am hearing a lot of horror stories. There is the BRBC, which is a broker agreement between like the agent and the buyer.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't know people or like agents and you're calling people like from Zillow and you're saying, hey, can we see a house? You're basically getting locked into a 3-month contract because you didn't know what you signed. And the thing is, like, gosh, like our people, right? I love old people, but like our Mexicans don't know English. Contracts are in English.
Yeah.
So when you are calling an agent who you are willing to trust and show you a property, you probably don't even know that you ended up signing a contract to work with them for 3 months and you don't even like them. So I do hear a lot of those stories. Yeah.
It's so important for you to go with a local real estate agent versus a Zillow real estate agent, because not only do they have access to obviously the listings, because you have pocket listings that you so pocket listings
within our brokerage. Yeah, absolutely.
Can you explain what a pocket listing is for people that don't know?
So if you don't know about a listing, we can basically tell you about that listing. Please do not put that on the damn podcast. Basically, a pocket listing is like something that you just don't know that it's out there, right? Like we have the connections to be able to get you a listing that nobody knows about, which in turn means less competition. We are in a market where we have a lot of competition.
So basically something that's not on Zillow or realtor.com or Redfin or all these other websites, Jessica has it in her back pocket. She brings it out. Hey, look at this. Make an offer, right? Yeah. And she works with a trusted lender that she knows personally that will be able to get you the best bang for your dollar and be able to get you approved for the loan because it's easy for you to get approved for a loan that you can't afford. And it's easy for these realtors to just push something on you that you can't afford. But then that reduces your quality of life. Like you're over here struggling just to pay groceries. And
Nobody cares.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Nobody cares.
So, but Jessica has that in mind.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. So I love one of the things that I love about the people, my team that I work with, is that we ask the questions. Like if you are pre-qualified or pre-approved, I should say, for like a $500,000 home, but you are not comfortable with the mortgage payment, I'm not going to push a $500,000 home on you because you don't want that. I don't want the higher pay.
Well, and there's the want and the need, right? So you get into the situation where you see $500,000. You're like, I can get that. I don't need that. But when you're buying and you're excited and you see the house, you're like, but I can get it. Okay, well, you're not going to be able to keep it.
Like, are you sure you want it?
Yeah.
Do you got babies on the way? Do you want to travel?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Because so my team helps me with that. My team, they do all the numbers and I ask all the questions as far as like what they're looking for, and I provide that for them. Then it just comes to like whether they feel like it's the home or not. Some people can go to 3 houses and be like, oh yeah, that one's it. Others, it takes several, and I'm there the entire, like I commit to finding them the house that they want, and even if it's more than 10 houses, happy to do it. But main key would be to talk to a trusted lender, and if you don't have one, I can connect you with one. I mean, we already you already talked to them, and I love the way my team works. Absolutely.
Definitely. What do you think is probably like when someone's going to get pre-qualified for a home, what's the most important thing for them to have in order? Is it credit? Is it their debt to income ratio? What is it?
At the end of the day, here's the thing. Like everybody everyone has a different situation. Even if they can like afford it, they don't want to buy it, right? So definitely work on that credit. I think that one's one of the main things for me or whoever I've come across with, because that also determines like the type of loan program that you can qualify for. A lot of people look for a better interest rate. A lot of people are waiting for the interest rates to drop. Right. But everyone's has a different situation. I think they all come into play, honestly. It's not just one thing. You also want to save up. Buying a house is not cheap. It's an investment.
It's a case by case scenario.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's why I like to take it, because when I get the question like, well, is it a good time to buy, or is it a good time to sell? Well, I'll ask you, is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to sell for you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, I can tell you it's a great time to buy. I can tell you it's a great time to sell, depending where you live and what you've done to the house or what you're looking for. But at the end of the day, I'm not buying the house.
Yeah.
I'm not selling your home. I'm not the one relocating. I'm not the one living there.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a case by case scenario.
Absolutely. So we've talked about the buyers. Let's talk about the sellers. What can people do selling their homes in order so they can best prepare to sell it?
Don't look at Zillow. Zillow is a great tool. Don't get me wrong. Zillow is a great tool, but sometimes what Zillow does is that it'll put a very high estimate value on your home, and it's not it. It's not accurate,
Mm-hmm.
right?
See, I find it also the opposite as well. So, like, it'll say, your home is worth this much. And I'm like, no, it's actually, comps are worth more. So, around my area. So, what's
Yeah.
this about?
So yeah,
It's just inaccurate.
it's inaccurate.
That's why
That's the
it's
thing.
a zestimate.
It is, but
A
many.
Zestimate. That sounds like a gay drink.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what Zillow has it. And
Yeah.
it's a zestimate. It's between this and this,
Oh,
right?
gotcha.
But many people, especially if they're trying to get top dollar for their home, and their home is not worth that, they get discouraged.
Mm-hmm.
They end up putting it on the market for a high price, and it just sits on the market.
Mm.
We're not in COVID times anymore. Yeah, some houses, they're on the market one day and they'll be gone the next. But houses are typically staying longer in the market.
Mm-hmm.
So to avoid having it be on the market forever, because I'm sure you want to sell it. You don't just want to list it, have it on
Right.
the market. It has to be a reasonable price.
Yeah.
And comparables come a long way. And that one we take ourselves. That's our job. We look at houses that have recently sold around the area. We take a look at your home and the homes around. They also have to be, within a mile, within 6 months. So there's a lot of little things that come into play when deciding what would be a good price for your home.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from the price itself, you want to have like a clean, decluttered home, nice and bright. You don't have to spend tons of money remodeling your home, because it's not going to add up to the price, to the selling price. But at least like paint goes a long way,
Mm-hmm.
and a nice curb appeal, nice and bright home inside.
Mm-hmm.
So something that is less, it's cost effective. It doesn't, you're not spending too much, but at least
Make it look nice.
make it look nice.
Mm-hmm. And I can talk about this all day. I love this type of stuff. Anything to do with buying real estate or investing, all those types of things. I can talk about it all day.
Are you going to be the next realtor?
Maybe. I don't know.
Hey,
Maybe you got some
never know.
competition.
Yeah.
Nah.
Dang.
Let's so is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience in regards to your professional expertise?
Just be prepared. Just prepare yourself. If you don't have credit, build your credit. If you know your credit is bad, definitely reach out to someone that can help you repair it, because you don't want to pay all your collections or all the credit cards that you have. Obviously, it would be good to be out of debt and all the things, but sometimes paying off everything doesn't really make a difference on the purchase price,
Yeah.
on the qualified amount, on the loan amount that they give you. So it's always best to talk to someone that can direct you, and again, family is there to support you and all the things, but also talk to a professional, because they are the ones working in the market. They study the market, they understand, and all the things. So just be prepared and reach out. I think that would be my best advice.
Absolutely. Okay, well, thank you for that. Let's shift over to personal insights. We want to get to know you better, Jessica.
Okay.
So, what is it that you enjoy doing in your free time, and how do those interests influence your work or personal life?
I've been working a lot more on being present,
Okay.
which I'm very grateful for. Yoga today, by the way.
Oh, yes. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Wild Elm.
Yes, can't wait for some hot yoga, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
that's my favorite.
I hear that's difficult.
That is,
It steps it up.
Yeah.
It definitely steps it up a notch.
it's very different.
Yeah, it is.
I want to try it one of these days because I hear you're like shaking and it's super hot and all
Well,
this.
I think you're shaking either way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because yoga's
it's
tough,
not
but-
as intense. That I think it just depends on the person. It definitely makes it more intense, but it's not undoable.
Oh, okay.
It's
definitely
fun and rewarding, and you
Oh,
walk
yeah.
out feeling like, oh.
That is true. That is true.
So going back to what I do on my free time, is that what you asked? I spend time with my son. I am involved, you know, and here's the thing, just because I'm involved with Love Patterson, because I am part of the Chamber of Commerce, and because I'm a realtor, just my free time, wow, I forgot what I was going to say, honestly. Just because I'm involved in those many things doesn't mean that I'm always, like, my days are spent on that 24/7.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I am involved in all these things, but it's like once a week. Well, obviously,
But
real
your
estate is
priority's
my
always
7
your
days.
family.
Yes, my priority is always my family, but I try to be present when I am at home. And then ask me again. Like, you asked me a long question. I forgot
Well, it's
everything.
just what you like to do in your free time and then how that affects your work and personal life.
Well, if personal life is not good, or if there's challenges happening in personal life, that definitely affects work life. Or who, you know.
Well, and I
are
think
around
there's
you.
a stigma of volunteerism.
At least for me.
Well, on volunteerism, I think people get, I don't have time for that. Or you need to be home, or you have kids. The thing is with Love Patterson, and you can attest to this, is that your family is also part of it.
Yeah.
So whenever we're doing an event, they are also there. They are also helping. They are also involved. So I think it's almost like just a shield to say, like, oh, I don't want to do it because of these things, when you actually, if you would just give it a shot, would see that it's a family affair. Everybody comes.
Yeah, my dad always tells me, he's like, hay tiempo para todo, which means that there's time for everything. Every single person on this earth has the same 24 hours as you do. And you see the type of things that some people do. They're super successful. They know how to schedule their time efficiently.
Time management.
Time management's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That's
So,
a huge one.
you know, there's time for everything. So just because you go to work and you have a family doesn't mean that you can't volunteer.
No.
There's
No.
definitely time for that.
Yeah.
And so you've mentioned before that you were into network marketing and multi-level marketing. And I know that it has they're very heavy on the self-development and bettering yourself. So who is your professional hero? Author or anything?
I don't have one.
Really?
Yeah. I don't have one. I'm very bad at remembering, like, authors and, like, yeah, I
Well, that's
don't.
a tough question. I mean,
I read a lot of books, but ask me who wrote it, I have no idea.
I know about any maybe social media people, like Cody Sanchez or like
Okay. Like, if I scroll on social media, and that's somebody who I like to see a lot of their things.
that you look up to professionally or lifestyle wise.
More for encouragement, I want to say.
Okay.
It's Lewis. What's his last name? Lewis. He wrote a book. He's a speaker. So with multi-level network marketing, what is it?
It's both. Network marketing, multi-level marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, I did get the opportunity to go to, like, conferences and listen to speakers. If we want to talk about someone and they said something and touched me, it would be like Ed Milet. Grant Cardone.
Yep.
Yeah, Grant Cardone's really good.
So more so like them, but I'm not, like, fully invested in what they do and follow everything that they do. I just try to get a little of everything and try to incorporate it.
Oh, okay.
But,
So then you say you read a lot of books. What was the last book that you read?
So I used to read a lot of books. I recently, but now because I'm on the road a lot, I do audibles. I do a lot of audibles. Now the book that I am reading, or, like, it's the Bible. I'm reading the Bible right now.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm reading right now. As far as audibles, I mean, we can go through my audibles right now if you want.
The top 5 audibles.
And people don't give the Bible credit as a book.
I know. So I was like, is that a book or not?
It's definitely a book.
66 books, right?
I have no idea. I just asked my friends on social media the other day to give me tips on how to read it because I don't.
Yeah, it's 66 books, and I've read a lot of books over. I mean, there was a period in my life where I was reading one book a week, right? And I was doing that for like 5-6 months. And what I've noticed with these books on self-development and, helping yourself, is that they have a lot of core principles that are shared with the Bible, right? So like biblical principles, like they tell you how to manage your money in the Bible, right?
Haven't gotten there yet.
Well, you'll find it. You read what is it? Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill has biblical principles. The Richest Man in Babylon, about King Solomon, which is in the Bible. We like so many books that have principles that are related to the Bible. It all just goes back there. And really, what people don't realize is that when it comes to making money and growing yourself, right, is that money is not like what you're chasing. What you're chasing is the value.
Yeah.
Right? You're chasing to become that person that is worth $1 million, not the $1 million itself.
Yeah.
Because money is a byproduct of value.
Yeah.
So that's something that a lot of people don't seem to realize. So it's good that you're actually reading the Bible.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're going to read it, I mean, everyone starts off with the New Testament, which is Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, right?
Okay.
That's the gospel right there,
Yeah.
right? That's what everyone knows. But I mean, it's good to know like the beginning: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. Those
Yeah,
are
so
very
that's
good.
how I started, and then I posted on social media, and a lot of people recommended to start with John. So I'm like, oh, I thought it was
John
page
is
by
good.
page.
Well, Matthew's really good too because he had the Sermon on the Mount,
Yeah.
and then he goes on about talking about how it's how to be present in the moment. There's this one part that I don't know if I'll be able to remember it, but it goes something like this: to consider the lilies of the field, how they toil not, neither do they spin, which is like they don't work, but that God still clothes the grass of the field even more beautiful than King Solomon, and King Solomon was the richest man alive, right? And they are here today, but tomorrow are cast into the oven, which means that they're here for just a moment, but they're cast away. But God clothes them so beautifully. How much more do you think that He cares about you?
Yeah.
You get me? So it's like you read those things and you're like,
Whoa.
whoa, right?
Well, and I think it goes back to everyone has a different perspective, right? So you're
Yeah.
going to read what you want to read out of it, or you're going to take it and you're going to read it and think about how you're perceiving it. So I think
Yeah.
everyone has, and it's interesting to have those conversations. Like, this is how I perceive that. This is how I perceived it. So
Like it has a different message to everyone.
Most definitely.
it's whatever you take from it.
Yeah.
But that's life, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
life is really going to give you what you take from it. So
Mm-hmm.
what you might think of this day might be something we might experience the same thing.
Yeah.
But you might think it's a terrible day. I might think it's a great day. Just never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I've read a lot of books. I've listened to quite the few. But the one that I am reading right now would definitely be the Bible. Just trying to understand it and live by it, apply it, and all the things. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you're off to a very good start with the Bible. Right?
Thank
That forms the base. At least that's what I think, because I believe that to be the truth. But shifting gears into kind of a little bit more insights on you. I know we talked about this question, so if 8-year-old Jessica could meet you right now, what do you think that she would say, and how would she react to meeting you?
This is why he's the host.
Yeah,
He has great questions.
That one's a tough one. I tend to block.
8-year-olds. Okay, that is what grade? Third?
I have no clue. I know they're young.
Hold on. That's like third grade.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is it?
kindergarten's 5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about second, third grade.
Second, third grade.
I'd be little old me would be like, what the heck? Who's that? type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because childhood or like growing up for me was challenging. I didn't know who I wanted to be, you know, and to see like myself now, I'd be like, oh wow, just because of what I've went through,
Yeah.
I guess, all of the hardships, or like not having my parents because they were working, and like me being the oldest and kind of being the parent, like I would have never known that I would have been like here where I'm at.
Do you feel like maybe 8-year-old you would see you as the cool big sister?
I hope so.
Yeah. She would be like, man, you're so
Like,
cool.
you can do it. And see, I don't even believe on my age sometimes because, you know, I talk to a lot of other younger kids, and it's like, I'm like, I feel their age too. Like, I'm having fun with them. But, yeah.
Awesome. So
Sorry, I blanked out.
you're good. So she would definitely she would like you. She'd be proud of you. I'm sure
Yes.
that she would look forward to becoming the person that you are today.
Yes,
As
I hope
many
so.
people I think probably look up to you.
Thank you.
So on the other side, what would you say to her?
Just do it. Get out of your comfort zone. Hard will always be hard, and just choose your heart and just choose to go through it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the reasons why I do not regret joining like a network marketing, because it got me out of my bubble. I was always so afraid.
Mm-hmm.
That's why to me it was a pivotal moment, because when I joined that, I knew what to expect from like a business side of it. And you know that not everyone's going to support you, even if they're family. They don't get it, you know,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean like you stop there. Like
Mm-hmm.
you just keep moving forward. So I love network marketing for that reason. I will never regret joining that. But I would say just do it, because then you turn 33 and you're gonna wish, or
Yeah.
older, and then you're gonna wish you would have done those
Yeah.
things.
And your worst case scenario is ending up at the job that you're currently at, living an average life just like anyone else, right? That's the worst case scenario. And the best case scenario is that you've met all these amazing people, you've made this money, which isn't the goal, but I mean, now you're able to live comfortably, and you have these relationships that you wouldn't have had before, and these
I
experiences,
would
right?
have never been here if it wasn't for my network marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I would have never stepped out. I think I would have been just working out. Still me in a way, but I wouldn't be here.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't have wanted to be involved in all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think a lot of people want to be involved, right?
Yeah.
But they either don't know how or they don't know how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to step out and meet people, and even if it's uncomfortable at first, being able to kind of make those relationships is where it's at. And that's why hopefully that we all at Love Patterson give that open door, feel,
Yeah.
where it doesn't matter who you are. There's all types of people in Love Patterson, right? And that's what we've strived for, is to have somebody that clicks with everybody.
Yeah.
So we welcome you no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then let me ask you this. Is there a quote, is there a movie, is there something that lives in your head that you tend to rely on or go to when you're going through a difficult time? Like something that pushes you.
I think I go back to my family, or
Okay.
why I do what I do. That sets in a little more, motivation. I'm like, okay, I got this. But at the end of the day, like, I also know that going through the hard is going to I'm just going to grow. And that's what I want. That's what at the end of the day, I want to grow, and I want to be better for my family. I do what I do because I want to be there and be better for my family. There is actually a book that I would go back to and reread. It's How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Dale Carnegie, yeah.
So that one book is amazing. It teaches you how to be quiet and listen.
Amen.
That's the biggest thing.
You
is-
can read the book or you can bump your head 5 trillion times
Oh, yeah.
until you're like 45.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're reading someone's life experience.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go through those years of just like you said, bumping your head and messing up. Like you're basically absorbing that experience.
Yeah.
That's why I love books. In Audibles, they do the job too.
They do.
You know?
They do.
They really do. There's no
They
big
do.
difference.
Yeah.
I just like to highlight things, but then I get distracted with the highlighting also. So I'm like, okay, let's just do the Audible as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Dissect it.
But that one's a great book because that one did teach me how to literally listen. I remember I used to be like, oh, I want to say my part. I want to say something too. I want to say something too.
Yes.
But I'm like, whoa, no. And then you get to know the person
Mhm.
better. You show them you're interested in knowing who they are. And
Mhm.
you're just not trying to prove your point, but you're listening to theirs.
I think there's a lot of that's like an untapped like skill, right? Is that when you can sit there and just be quiet and people will tell you everything you need to know if you just let them talk.
Oh yeah. People love to talk about themselves and they love to talk.
But you
So
can
you-
figure
It's
everyone out.
unavoidable.
Oh, yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
unavoidable.
You
Yeah.
can
Like-
figure out everything you need to know if you just
Mhm.
stop talking.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I'll say barely like a couple sentences, and then people are like telling me these like
Their
deep
life
secrets.
stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're like, "Dude, you're so cool," and I'm like, "I barely said
like-
2 words."
You've just told me
Exactly.
everything.
Yeah, yeah. And I always go off of this saying. I don't know if it's a saying, but this is how I think about it. We have 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. So observe more, listen more, and talk less.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. And then everything will just fall into place.
Yep.
It's so cool. I love talking to people. I love observing people and seeing like their behavioral patterns.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, anyone in business or wants to get into business, wants to have more friends,
Absolutely.
read the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So looking to the future, what's one thing that you hope to see come to Patterson? Be a business, a service, public service, like a police department?
That would be awesome. Hint,
Hint,
hint.
hint.
Yes, absolutely. Because I know we all want those things, right? One of my things that I would really want to see in Patterson would be a better downtown. No hate on the one that we have right now, but I want it to be better than Turlock, and no hate on Turlock either. But I want us to stay in town.
Yeah.
I want to do things in town.
Yeah.
Well, and it brings the community together, and that's what's kind of lacking here is that we have the infrastructure to really have a better than Turlock, a better than Livermore. I mean, the way it's already put together, if we could just bring the businesses here, but there's a lot to that, you know.
There's a lot on the back end, yeah. But I would want to see more entrepreneurs, more boutiques here, more restaurants, any type of restaurant. Because at the end of the day, I mean, it's not the city bringing in another same restaurant. It's the people willing to open up a restaurant in town, right? So I would like to just see some more light in our downtown. We already do it great with Apricot Fiesta and our Christmas parade, but I just at this rate with like all the growth that we've had with like housing, with residential homes, it just makes sense to have.
Yeah, the people
Thanks,
the people are here. It's just bringing the community together into one space.
And I'm glad that you said that and not like, oh, In-N-Out. Let's have an In-N-Out here,
No.
right? Or another gas station
Yeah.
because we need more gas
We're
stations.
known,
No.
we're not known for the gas stations, but we have a few.
We have more than a few.
Yeah.
I would want. I mean, if we really had it, anybody out there who wants to open up a cafe and just have it like nice and aesthetic and all the
love
things,
that.
you'll find me there all the time.
Oh yeah. I love that.
We want that here in
Yes.
town. Something similar to.
I always say like the cafes or the coffee shops are like the old people bars. Everyone wants to go to one spot and just have the community, have their friends there, and multiple friends, different times of days, like who's going to be there. It's like you transition from like the bar to the cafe.
Yeah.
Because we need more energy as we
Yeah.
grow.
Start
Yeah.
off with getting your coffee and then just cross the street and you'll
Yeah,
be
it's
at
fine.
the bar. It's hobbies.
Yeah. Okay. So we're approaching the end of the podcast. So I want to see what your future outlook is for yourself. So where do you see yourself in the next few years? Any goals, aspirations that you're working towards?
Yes. You know, I am working on my vision board, so I'm trying to recall all the things that
Is
I
that
have
a
on there.
yearly thing?
I try to make it a yearly thing. You know, I have friends who are entrepreneurs and they are into the visions and they very much influence what I try to do also,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Real estate is one of the reasons why I also do real estate, because one of my friends is a lender here in town and she had known the market. She was during a time, she was in the market when it was like COVID time
Mm-hmm.
and it was just booming everywhere. So she's like, you should do real estate. I was like, well, what about lending also? But my personality does not fit like a lending personality
Lending's
to
very
me.
technical. You have to be able to know about the loans like the
That's
FHA, conventional,
it's a
203K.
lot.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I like talking to people, helping them find what they
Right.
need.
You like to bring them
It's
in.
less
I like to bring-
personal. I think it's less personal. You know, the agent is really like a personal person. Your lender is like a one and done.
Yeah.
You know.
So
The lender is like you
want a
them,
relationship also with the lender, but I mean,
you do, but you also don't want them to be your best friend either. You want a person that you know is like almost Point Dexter, like they have like glasses and everything. They're like, yeah, let me run the numbers, crunch
Yeah.
them real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just save you 0.20001% on your loan.
Yeah.
Right. I at least that's what I think. I don't know.
absolutely, yeah. That's why my lenders are my best friends also.
Okay,
I'm like,
okay.
I take
Yeah.
them. I need them. You know, I need a
But
good
you have
team.
more of a relationship with them. The real estate agent is more invested with the lender.
Yeah,
Not
definitely.
invested, but like a long-term relationship. But for the
Yeah.
customer, it's really not that way as
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned. It's like you're more of you have a personal relationship with your agent, and that agent has more of a personal like connection with the lender because you're doing multiple transactions together. With the customer, it doesn't really
Yeah.
work that way, I don't think.
Yeah,
Yeah, the dynamic's different.
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
be.
But okay, so
I do. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm like,
Jessica.
wait, I was trying to remember my goals. I do want to finish the Bible. I don't know if that's a thing. Like, can you read the Bible in a year?
You can read the Bible in a year. There's like you can read the Bible in a month.
What?
Like yeah, there's like plans
wow.
out there. You just look them up. Read the Bible in 365 days, and I'll break it up because it's only 66 books. It's a
Oh.
1,081 pages, something like that, depending on the
You might
version.
have given me anxiety right now with that. Oh,
With
that's a
the
lot.
66 books you gave me, I
66
was
books.
what?
It's a little
Well, I mean, there's some
intimidating.
books are larger than others. Psalms
Yeah.
is like one
Okay.
of the larger
Well,
ones.
I got like the King James version. That one is tough, so I have to switch. I have to switch the
King
version.
James is that the ye and the thee and all
And the
that?
though and the art and the
Yeah.
thou or
Yeah.
whatever
You
it is.
get the New International Version, the
I'm
Message
like,
version. There's
yeah.
so many versions out there.
Yeah, there is a lot. So definitely, I want to. I want to read it. I feel like I've had some challenges, and God's been calling me to like finally listen to Him and like be there. You know. So life is hard.
It is.
It's,
It is.
That's so funny because like I've like always I've never really been an outspoken person. I never like to put myself out there. I don't like being in the spotlight. This type of stuff, I hated it. I didn't even like taking pictures. I was that person that had the same profile picture for 10 years. But God was always like
pushing you.
pushing me.
Yeah.
And then it got to a point where it's like I was in a very dark place in my life that I was like I had to remold myself. Well, obviously, God did it. He remolded me, and then I ended up being the person that I am today, you know. And I have pain and suffering to attribute to molding who I am today. You get me? So because they say that the mother is necessity is the mother of all invention, but I think that pain is the father of transformation. So
Well, they also, I think they have a saying where it's you every 7 or 10 years you actually reinvent yourself. So
on a cellular level,
yeah,
you become a whole new person.
Correct. Correct. So I think that where that lands for you depends. but you have an opportunity to kind of reinvent yourself. And I don't think anyone stays the same to where they can stay
Yeah.
as that person, right? So
Yeah.
who is that person going to be within like the next 7 to 10 years?
Stay tuned for the next podcast.
Yeah.
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 No, you don't ever stay the same. And a lot of people don't realize that. I mean, they want life to be all sunshine, rainbows, and butterflies, lollipops, and all that. And it's not. There's this quote that I just have in my head, and it's a movie thing. It's Rocky.
Yeah.
Rocky, I think it's 6 or something. He's like, the world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are. It will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody will hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Yep.
And so on and so forth. And like, I knew the whole thing. I would recite. I wouldn't run. I used to run like 6-7 miles every single day, no headphones, just that reciting that in my head.
Wow.
Because I'm like, this is a fundamental truth of life, and I need to internalize that and become a better person, so that even if life is hard, I can still go through it. You get me?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
So yeah, the Bible.
yeah,
That's your goal.
That is one of my goals. The other one, I'm like, should I say, oh my God?
Do it.
So I don't know. It came up to, we want to buy also like a rental property. I was talking to my friends because they do this, and they actually, own a couple businesses in town, the Victory Fitness and Forever Bella, and then there's like Patterson Lumber. So this is where they thrive. So it's always nice to like, okay, well, what are you gonna do now? So I was just talking to them just like last night, and I'm like, okay, well, I need some ideas, because you feel like sometimes you don't want to do it because others are doing it too. And then you feel like if you want to do it, it's unattainable. So I'm like, okay, well, first I need ideas. Then I need to save money. I have to get out of debt.
Let me tell you something. How it usually works is it'll just come to you. And if it's the right thing, you're going to do it. You can plan for things, and it's good to plan for things.
you
But
can't plan for everything.
sometimes things just land in your lap, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. And you know what? You just have to not be scared, and you just have to say, I'm going to make it work. I'm smart enough to make it work, and that's it. If it's in your wheelhouse, even if it's not in your wheelhouse, but you have the connections to make it work, just do it.
Yeah.
Don't be scared to do it.
Absolutely.
Just do it.
Yeah, and I mean, you always have to keep in mind that people will always talk no matter what.
Yeah.
They'll say, "Oh, she got lucky. Oh, this, and that. She has the connections and stuff." But I mean, what is luck really? Luck is just, preparation meeting opportunity. That's what luck is really. So if you're prepared for it, and then this comes to your lap, like how Kendra was saying, yeah, you're gonna go through with it, and you're gonna be successful with
business. If you can make a business work, you just have to do the numbers and say, okay, I can make this work, and I can make money at it, and let's go.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There's always people to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I will be reaching out. Let me complete my vision board.
Okay, so closing up, we have one final question, the most important one.
Dun, dun.
Why do you love Patterson?
Why don't I?
That's a better question. Why don't you love?
Just kidding. I love Patterson because here I've lived here. I could say my entire life, honestly, even though I didn't. But I could say I've lived here my entire life, and I've met incredible people. I mean, I've met. So I'm like in over a decade relationship with my boyfriend right now. I don't know where's the ring. Do not ask. That's in the works. Okay. But I met him here in this area also. I love Patterson because it still has a small town feeling. I see myself raising my kids here, and just living here for the rest of my life. I mean, unless honestly, rest of my life would be in Mexico. I want to retire there in Mexico. Yeah. So one of my goals, it won't be this year, but working up to it would be look into buying property in Puerto Vallarta. I mean, Long Beach. Yeah, that would be, because if I want to retire somewhere, it's going to be in Mexico.
Yep.
But Patterson is great.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for watching the Tea with LP. This has been an honor to have Jessica Castillo with us.
Yeah.
And right before we close out, give us your social media handles, anywhere that people can reach out to you. We'll put it up here on the screen.
Okay, well, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram handle is unlocked.with.jess. And Facebook, it's just Jessica Castillo.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, thank you everyone. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.